Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Relatively Gaming Podcast, the show where we talk some of the gaming news, what we've been playing, what we're looking forward to, along with a fun mystery topic to keep it, spicy and interesting week to week. Maybe spicy's not the great, describer, but whatever. My name's Bret, aka Enigma9011, and that joyful laugh that you heard is my amazing co-host, TJ, at Turn-Based TJ. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. As always, we're recording on a Friday, so I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm looking forward to the nice weather and just everything in general. Life is going great right now.
Oh, the nice weather, he says as it snows here in New York. Luckily, it's only flurries, but yeah, fall spring is over, sadly. Please be warm for PAX, Boston. I don't want to be freezing my ass off as I walk to the convention center. Anyways, if you guys are interested in the podcast, new episodes do drop over on YouTube and Spotify every Monday at 12 noon Eastern, so you can watch and listen as you are right now. And if you feel like somebody would enjoy the podcast, of course, feel free to spread it along to them too, and we can get more fun people in here. But let's jump into the news. TJ, what do you have for news this week?
Sure, I don't have like a lot of news, but I think I've got more details in the small sections of news that I have.
Sure.
The first one being that Marathon, launched last week. It has a smaller player base than Arc Raiders.
Okay.
Usually I don't like comparing games directly, but they are both extraction shooters, so I feel like comparing numbers is pretty apt in this case, especially because Marathon has the power of Bungie behind it and everything. So for the player count, as it stands at the time of this article was written 3 days ago, Arc Raiders players active right now 163,084. The 24-hour peak for Arc Raiders was 173,740, and the all-time player peak is 481,966. Now, if you compare that to Marathon, the players active right now during the same time was 51,208. The 24-hour peak was 66,593, and the all-time player peak is 88,337. So it hasn't broken 100,000 yet in any of its stats, but those are pretty solid numbers. I feel like the article I was reading was attempting to disparage Marathon by showing these numbers side by side with Arc Raiders. But looking at these numbers, like having 66,000 players play at the same time is pretty good, honestly.
For sure. Yeah, I'm curious, like, we talked about Highguard shutting down last weekend. Like, what's the, not to be negative, but what's the breaking point for that studio of, like, what would be too low for them? Because, like you said, yeah, those numbers are nothing to scoff at if it's not the triple thousands. I mean, I don't think that's a death blow by any means, but yeah, I don't know. That seems good.
Yeah, it seems good to me. It's good enough to have a player base. Like, I know games like Overwatch and stuff hover around these same numbers and things.
Oh, okay.
But I think the real problem is like how much money and effort did Bungie put into this? Did they do that to only get 66,000 people playing at the same time? I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, and there's been also some bumps in the road. Like, I know PlayStation hasn't acquired Bungie, but that partnership has been a little bit rocky since that acquisition, unfortunately, with the development of this. So yeah, that is definitely a good, or a big factor. So good pointing that out.
Yeah. Do you have you researched into Marathon at all, or does this game interest you?
It was another one of those ones where I was like, nope, I have no interest, so I haven't looked into it. There's some people I follow on Blue Sky who have been playing it and dipping their toes into it, and it seems like from everybody from a playing perspective has enjoyed it, so I'm glad to hear that. But no, I don't think this will be something I jump into. Art style looks cool now that they fixed the asset stealing trouble they got into, but yeah, I don't think it's something for me. But
yeah, eventually I'm going to try an extraction shooter because they are taking, the multiplayer games by storm.
Sure.
So like eventually I'll end up playing. I don't know if Helldivers 2 is considered an extraction shooter, but I feel like that's probably what I would jump into. But yeah, it's actually the art style that is taking me away from Marathon and making me not want to play it, because the environment and everything is like a fucking confetti blast in your face, and then the player skins are like really drab.
Yeah.
So I'm like watching people on Twitch and stuff, and this is just my personal thing. I'm sure if I actually played it, maybe it would be different, but it's like really hard for me to like see the characters in the environment because the environments are so fucking colorful and crazy.
Gotcha.
So yeah, maybe Marathon wouldn't be my first one to jump into, but you
Hmm.
never know. If it was free, I would have tried it by now.
Sure.
For
Sure.
sure. That's gonna do it for Marathon news though. News of a game that's just keeps on kicking though is Diablo 4.
Mm.
Has a new season that came out March 11th entitled The Season of Slaughter, in which you can play as the Butcher,
Mm.
which is pretty cool. Full disclosure, I did re-download Diablo 4 and play The Season of Slaughter a little bit, and playing as the Butcher was weird.
Oh
So
yeah.
there's that. Yeah, it was very bizarre to be playing as the Butcher for no reason, and also having your move set limited. You basically only have like two attacks or something. I don't know if like when you become the Butcher later on, you'll have more attacks, but you know, in Diablo you have like six attacks at all times. So being limited down to like two attacks was pretty lame in my opinion.
Mm.
But like I said, maybe you'll get more as it goes on. But also beginning on March 11th, 2026, Diablo 4 is hosting a Doom the Dark Ages crossover, which is the actual reason I downloaded it.
Ah.
And from this date, all players will be able to access Doom the Dark Ages event reliquary that boasts about total 10 total rewards. Oh my gosh, I can talk. Each of these rewards will be earned for free via the Dark Ages currency, which can be obtained by defeating elite and champion monsters. These solely cosmetic rewards will give a handful of Diablo 4's weapons a Doom the Dark Ages makeover, such as turning a regular shield into Doom's shield saw and giving a melee weapon the appearance of the Doom Slayer's flail. Um, this was unexpected and awesome. I fucking love the Dark Ages, and I've put hundreds of hours into Diablo 4. I don't know if I would say I love Diablo 4, but I put hundreds of hours into it. Um, and yeah, I really want that shield saw. I think that would be really cool, especially if you're going to play the new class, the Paladin. But of course, that's tied to a $40 DLC pack, so probably not, although the Paladin is free right now.
Hmm.
If you're watching this on Monday, I believe there will be 2 more days left in the Paladin free trial. So if you can grind it out in 2 days, you know, it might be worth checking out the Season of Slaughter stuff with the Paladin. I made a Paladin character and it's pretty fun. It wasn't like revolutionary or anything. Um, then this comes to the downside though. I was all excited. I was like, you know what? I might even spend some money on Diablo 4 for the first time since I bought the game.
Hmm.
Maybe I'll buy myself a Doom Slayer skin. It's $50.
Oh my God. For one
$50. Or
skin?
it's for every class, or you can pay $25 for a single class for one skin. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, and if they also have the dragon mount, you can use your horse, you can turn into the dragon from Doom the Dark Ages, which is so fucking cool, and
Yeah.
that should make me excited, except for it's $25 also.
It's not even included?
No, 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 that's a separate thing. It's $25. And then you have to buy a pet. So if you want to buy a Kako Demon pet, that's an additional
Ah,
$20.
ah, oh God. Oh my. Wow. Okay.
So if you want the Doomslayer skin with the mounts and you want the pet to be the Kako Demon or the floating skull guys or whatever, that's gonna run you $95 or $75 if you want just the one for one character class. So I hope you like playing that character class because you invested $75 into them.
Mm-hmm. Or
So
you could
yeah.
buy so many indies and just love your existence. Jesus.
Yeah, or you could buy Slay the Spire 2 for $22
Or
and
do yeah,
literally
yeah,
get
yeah, do that.
more time out of it. Yeah.
Oh my. Wow. Like
Yeah, so
obviously there's been expensive skins in numerous games. Like this isn't anything new, but just like holy crap, that Blizzard, what are you doing? You would feel like they're making hand over fist money wise. Like, I don't know. This even, like, not to poke into your news, I wasn't one I had written down, but I know Fortnite's V-Bucks are getting more expensive too. It's like,
mhm.
how? How are you scrapped for cash? You know, it's just insane. So,
Yeah,
jeez,
especially Diablo 4. Not only did it sell incredibly well, it's the best-selling game in the franchise because they had a fucking insane marketing blitz with the game. But There's the battle pass that you got to buy every couple of months, every season or whatever, which I think is every 2 or 3 months. So they're making money off the battle pass. They're making money off the expansion because if you want to play a Spirit Born, you better cough up another $30 or whatever in the Nahansu region or whatever it's called. And then they're selling another expansion for another $40. So it's like, and then on top of that, the skins in the game it's not just the Doom skin. I actually went through the shop because I've never like gone into the shop because I knew that it's like a money pit. It's like a trap. So I've just avoided the Diablo 4 shop. But going into the Diablo 4 shop, it's like almost all the skins are like $25,
Mm,
like for base
sure.
skins.
And I mean, no hate to the players. Like, if you love any game and you want to support that studio more, or like, get whatever you want out of the game, that's fine. We got to be careful though of like, oh, it's this, complain, 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 and then you still get it. Like, that's
Yeah.
because then they're just gonna keep pulling shit like this. So yeah, it's just baffling that that's a thing, but it's not an ecosystem I'm in. So I mean, what do I know? We.
Yeah, it's becoming like WoW, where it's just like nickeling and diming because it's also Blizzard.
Which I didn't
And
even think WoW did that, but that's also something I have no idea about. I know it's obviously a monthly subscription game, last I knew. But that was years ago that I knew that. So I don't know, but yeah, stupid.
yeah, and the part of my brain that is just a monkey clapping a cymbal together in the background is like still like, oh, but I want the Doom the
Sure,
Dark
and
Ages
that's
skin.
how they get us. Ooh, shiny
Yeah,
thing.
because you know how much I love Doom the Dark Ages. I
Sure.
rated it podcast lore as my game of the year last
Yeah,
year. So I love that game, and I do enjoy Diablo 4 quite a bit, but I just think I'm gonna have to stick to the shield saw cosmetic instead of going the full nine with the horse and the skin, unfortunately, because
sure,
I just can't just there's no world in which I can justify this purchase. Like
sure.
from a financial position, from a gaming position, it's ridiculous. So my hype when I saw the initial news thing on my news website, I was like, Diablo crosses over with Doom. Oh my God. Downloaded the game, went into the store, and then was like, oh my God.
Right. Yeah.
So that's enough about Diablo 4, though. Let's talk about a sunshiny company, Nintendo.
Oh.
Nintendo's always in the news for good reasons, right?
Yeah.
Nintendo, their stock jumps 15% in 2 days, thanks single-handedly to Pokemon Pokopia, which
Woo.
sold 2.2 million copies in 4 days.
Damn.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, Pokopia is doing crazy numbers. Very popular. I've seen people, even though the Switch 2, from my recollection, is like one of the best-selling Nintendo consoles. Um, People are buying a Switch 2 for Pokopia. I may even know certain people that do podcasts that would
Hmm.
buy a
Hmm.
Switch 2 for Pokopia.
Probably.
Which I also didn't realize was the developers of the Dragon Quest Builders
Mm-hmm.
games.
Yep.
Yeah, so that actually does give me more hype. The more I've seen about this game, the more I'm like, why don't I own a Switch 2? What is the problem?
Well, we were just talking about gaming financial decisions. Hold on now.
Yeah. Yeah, but I could buy all of Pokopia for how much I could buy a Doom skin
Yeah,
of
that's a
Diablo 4.
game, not the whole console on top of that.
Well, I didn't say good financial decisions. So yeah, that's exciting. Pokopia is doing very, very well, and it's doing very, very well for Nintendo. I'm glad because they do have a little bit of a dry spell in this section of the Switch 2's library,
Hmm.
from first-party titles at least. I know Resident Evil Requiem just came out for the system, so
Right.
yeah, there's that. That's pretty great. And then my last piece of news is just that Crimson Desert adds to Nuvo, and people are upset. Uh,
What's that?
it is an anti-piracy
Oh, okay.
software. Yeah, it
Okay.
makes it so it's very difficult to pirate, and so people are upset because not only does it make the game difficult to pirate, it usually slows games down and make them perform way less good.
Oh. Alright.
So now that hasn't been I haven't noticed that case in the games that I've played with Denuvo, but I know that some people have like they've said that like if the game didn't have Denuvo, they'd be able to play on their PC, but because it does, they literally can't because it slows it down too much.
Ah, okay. Huh.
But It is for anti-piracy. I understand, especially with a big single-player RPG such as Crimson Desert. Every sale is going to matter, so I understand with them wanting to protect their ass in that in that
Yeah.
scenario. And that's it. That's all I've got for news this week. What do you got, Brett?
Oof. Okay. Well, I'm also on a similar train where I didn't. I don't think I have that much news. And a lot of my news, unfortunately, is negative. So everybody strap in. I'll end on a good note. Let's start with hitting it close to home with Sony and PlayStation. Ugh, God. Hold on. This is from Tech Radar and Demi Williams over there. Sony is reportedly testing dynamic pricing on its PlayStation storefront that changes the price tag of over 190 games. Okay, that's according to PS Prices, which claims that Sony has been running an A/B testing experiment that shows different prices to different users since November of 2025. In the first 4 months, the experiment grew from just 50 games in 30 regions to now over 190 games in more than 70 regions. Sony is allegedly testing the prices for its own first-party titles like Asherbot and launched, quote-unquote, a new, IPT_LTM program with elastic pricing, unquote, which PS Prices said it spotted because it, quote, tracks PlayStation Store prices in more than 50 regions, unquote. Another quote, our system detected unusual offer structures containing experiment identifiers in PlayStation API responses, unquote. The website explained, these experimental prices are shown only to certain segments of users selected by Sony. PlayStation Store users have seemingly been seeing differing prices that are actually lower than the standard retail rates on games like The Last of Us Part 2, God of War, Spider-Man, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and more. The reports add that personalized discounts have appeared during sales, offering discounts as high as 12.6% on the aforementioned titles. Though initially it was thought that the US was exempt from the experiment, as of March, PS Prices claimed that this is no longer true, and discovered Sony had since included PlayStation's largest market. Quote, in March 2026, we discovered that the US was included in the experiment and discounts there are significantly deeper than in Europe, it said. While discounts in Europe are 10 to 17%, in the US they reach 27.8%. Some third-party games have also received discounts, including WWE 2K25, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Red Dead Redemption 2, and more. In addition to regular discounts during February, okay, that's just, yeah. So dynamic pricing on Sony's front. Yeah, what the?
Wait, so
It's
what you're
odd.
saying is that it could be more expensive for somebody potentially to buy a game than for somebody else.
Bingo.
That's wrong.
Yeah. So
That's just...
I heard about this maybe a year ago from our friends over at the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast. Everybody go follow them. And when they were explaining it, I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty scummy. And then I hadn't heard about it till this week. So I was like, oh, maybe there was enough clapback, lash out, whatever, that they weren't going to do this. But apparently they're still doing it. So obviously I don't know all the ins and outs, but yes, from what my understanding is and what this article says, you could have one price, I could have one price, but mine will be cheaper than your price just because. And it will like fluctuate here and there because they're like, oh, well, we think you like this game, so we'll make it cheaper at certain points or something like that. I don't know all the ins and outs, but it seems odd. It should be, if thing is on sale, it should be on sale for everybody. If something is a higher price, it should be a higher price for everybody. So obviously there's a lot of details that are, probably need to be researched a little bit more on my end and viewers on your end if you want to look into it. There was a closing statement here, like based on Ticketmaster discussion as well, because I think they've done that. Dynamic pricing is a method businesses use to adjust the cost of its products in real time based on demand, and is often seen as rather unfair practice. The UK government has previously launched an investigation into Ticketmaster for the same thing. So now the wheels are starting to turn off of that statement too. I believe the Trophy Room, one of their good points that they brought up was a digital marketplace. There's no supply and demand. You don't run out of downloadable title, you know? It's not like a stock on a shelf where you're like, oh shit, I only got 5. Yeah, I got to bump this up because there's a supply there and there's a demand. So like, it's just baffling.
Okay, Mr. Smarty Pants, if you can't run out of digital copies, then how come I pre-order digital copies then?
Also true. Also a great point. You know, you're just being like, yep, I'm making sure I can download this right away. No, for sure. It's a big selling point, but
sense.
Yeah. So,
man, this is disastrous, I feel, for the industry. I really hope that this doesn't do well for Sony, because if it does, I could totally see Steam like copying this or whatever. Steam already has, I forget what it's called. Let me open Steam real quick.
Sure.
Usually it's right there. It's called, just your queue.
Okay.
What they call it, where they curate. They're like, here's 11 games that we think, based on the games that you've been playing, that you would like.
Yeah.
So they're already kind of doing that, and like algorithmically, like pitching you games that they think that you would like.
Sure.
So imagine that, just with like, oh, we think you would like this game, so let's discount it $5 or whatever.
Right. Yeah, I think the suggestions is a good idea. Like, I like what Steam does with that kind of suggestion, because maybe it's just something that's not on your radar, but it's like, oh, you played Slay the Spire, you might like XYZ. Like, that's kind of nice. But, I'm sorry.
Monster Train.
Yeah. So, like, I appreciate that because, yeah, it's just discoverability or helping, you know, push more things you like to you. I can see how that can get a little bit advertisement-like, but, I mean, all social media does it. You interact with this post. Oh, you want that post. Here's 50 of that post. No, I just wanted one, you know? Like, I get it. Algorithms are hit or miss, but I like that feature, but yes, it does then get into a weird space if they're then fluctuating the price of like, oh, well, this, for lack of a better term, this sucker likes Slay the Spire, so we should push all these things and try and get more money out of them. Like, oof.
Yeah. Yeah, like, we'll push Monster Train 2 on sale and then push it to turn-based TJ because he's played 50 hours of Slay the Spire in the last week. So.
Right. So yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on this one. It's just a bit of a bummer, and especially from a consumer side of things, like not knowing. Now I'm like, really, like, ooh, gotta be careful in that storefront, you know. Don't want to be just feeding into it, but I don't know. It's a hard thing.
Yeah, it's hard for you to know. Like, how would you know if that was happening?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, you'd have to Google it or something.
Right. So we'll keep an eye on it. I don't know. TBD. On the other side of the fence, oh God, GDC has been this week, so if you guys don't know what GDC is, I probably should have looked this up before recording here, but it's a big, I believe it's just game developers conference. Let me see. GDC, Festival of Gaming in San Francisco. Yeah, the Game Developers Conference. Okay, cool. It's an annual conference for video game developers. This event includes an expo, networking events, and award shows like the Game Developers Choice Awards and Independent Awards there. So this is happening in San Francisco this week as of recording. So there's a lot of panels and whatnot. And an interesting keynote that did happen was from Microsoft. This is coming from Miranda Sanchez and Wesleyan Poole over at IGN. Microsoft GDC 2026 keynote, everything announced on the future of Xbox and Project Helix. Microsoft's Game Developer Conference 26 keynote has finished, and we have everything announced below, including new details on the next-gen Xbox codenamed Project Helix. Building for the future with Xbox saw Jason Rowland, VP, Next Generation Microsoft, host a conversation about the vision shaping the future of Xbox and how we're building a more flexible, connected future for game creators and players everywhere. It was delivered in front of a packed audience in GDC 2026 this morning. The article was on the 11th. The keynote just a few weeks after the significant shakeup of its gaming business we already know about Phil and the Asha change. Let's see. Following the announcement of Sharma's appointment, Seamus Blackley, who co-created Xbox and Microsoft, said that because Xbox is not a core part of Microsoft's all-encompassing AI push, it was potentially, quote-unquote, being sunsetted. Blackley added that the fact Sharma came over from Microsoft's AI team with no gaming background was further evidence of the company's strategy. Quote, they don't say that, but that's what's happening, Blackley said, so I wonder if Blackley's former? I don't know. Excuse me. Project Helix will play Xbox and PC games. Quote unquote, great start to the morning with Team Xbox, where we talked about our commitment to return of Xbox, including Project Helix, the codename for our next generation console. Project Helix will lead in performance and play your Xbox and PC games. Looking forward to chatting about this more with partners and studios at the first GDC next week. At her. This was Asha's. The article continues to go on discussing the whole keynote with like timed updates from both of the authors here with more specifics. So I definitely recommend going over there and reading that yourselves as they go through a bunch of details in terms of like textures and how it's going to work and whatnot. I wanted to bring this up because we had a comment on last week's episode in terms of the libraries and PC games, like why the hang up on our end of like, I don't know if this is the best move. To my understanding of what it reads, this is only an Xbox library thing where it's Xbox console games and Microsoft or Xbox PC games. You are now able to take both of those ecosystems, boom, and you can play everything on one system, right?
Right.
Okay. So while that's nice, where you don't, you can take that PC library and also play it, I think what the hiccup was for us last week and why we were a little bit trepidatious, I think that's the right word, is you mentioned Steam libraries. Steam libraries, you're not going to be able to play on this thing. Epic Games, GOG, Humble. Does Humble have theirs, or they just sell something? I don't know. I'm not a PC guy. But those libraries, you don't have access to that. So this is just like taking the two separated Xbox things and merging them onto one. And while that can be nice, most of the stuff on PC on the Xbox side of things is also available on the console space.
Correct.
Shout out to Freckleboy09, friend of the channel, who he just got into PC gaming lately. And it's funny because he's always asking me about PC stuff. I'm like, dude, I will help you out the best I can, but I do not know. But he's like, I can get X game to run on my console. Totally fine. But then I load it on PC and it doesn't run super well. I'm like, well, from what I know, when you take a game and you put it on a console, you're optimizing that game so it runs on the console's hardware. When you go to PC, it's less optimized because there's so much flexibility that they give the player. Higher graphic fidelity, higher frame rate, shaders, shadows, lighting, all the fun stuff, So it's not as like, it's polished, don't get me wrong, and I could be speaking on my ass, and please, I want your opinion after this too, of like the PC side of things. There's more options there, so they don't condense everything down. So me, console player, put in disk, activate download, boom, it's just going to magically work. Sometimes on the PC side of things, you have to tinker a little bit. Okay, my graphics card isn't this can't run this, I gotta bring this down to medium, I gotta turn this shader down, I gotta run performance mode instead of quality. Like, there's those things you gotta mess around with. So in terms of Xbox's things, I think there's limited options on the PC library, that it's weird that they're like mushing these two together.
Yeah, just real quick on the optimization of games being on consoles. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's because they know the specs ahead of time, so they can build it for the specs. To get PC games optimized, you have to change those specs yourself. You just have to know what your PC is and can do, what its strengths are. Like, I know my CPU is much better than my GPU, so I will prioritize things that maybe use up a little bit more of my CPU. And things of that nature. But yeah, you just have to go in and optimize it yourself. So there is an extra step there. So there's an extra barrier for people who may not be interested in PC gaming, because when you boot up the game, you're not going to hit new game. I've stopped doing that. When I boot up a new game, I immediately go into the options, and sometimes I'm in there for 2 seconds. Sometimes I'm in the options for 20 minutes. Like, it really depends. And sometimes you don't know all the settings. You have to play the game a little bit and be like, ooh, that's not feeling right. That's not good.
Hmm.
Tweak it. I still tweak my Cyberpunk 2077 settings almost every time I play. I'm like trying to find the perfect settings for that game. Now, luckily, that game has a boatload of settings, so you can really get in there, and that excites me. That I have fun with that kind of thing, where I'm like, ooh, can I get 5% more power out of this if I just turn the shadows down a little bit, but still good enough quality for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's that part, and the other part is, yeah, just back to the Xbox itself. Thank you for clarifying that it's not you're not gonna be able to play like your Steam libraries and stuff. I just heard PC, and I immediately, when I think PC, I think Steam. So that's
Yeah,
immediately where I
it
thought
at
of.
least seems like it's that way because everything I'm also reading, it just says PC games. They don't specify Xbox titles, but they're not also saying Steam and the other things. So it's like, it's kind of vague, and maybe somewhere they've been more specific with it, but at least outside looking in, that's what it appears to be. It's like just our stuff.
Yeah, and if it's just their stuff, I feel like that's I mean, good on them for combining their libraries because there are quite a few exclusive PC games. Don't they own Age of Empires, don't they?
I think so.
Microsoft does. I'm not sure. It's on the Xbox Game Pass though.
Sure.
But yeah, there's some PC games that are really good that are just on the Xbox marketplace that's not wouldn't be on the console. So I understand them merging it, but in my head, I still really want them to do the Steam library thing because then I can play NHL with the Xbox console side, and then I can use my Steam library. It's
Sure.
all about how can I play NHL for as cheaply as possible, and it's
Sure.
looking like I'm not getting away with it, anything less than $600. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, more information out there for you guys for Project Helix if you want to look into it. GDC definitely is the spot because like this is the businesses kind of going out there, and this is like the media. Like this isn't a typical conference for fans, from my knowledge.
right.
This is more of a industry thing. So if you want more specifics, please go check that out. I will talk about Microsoft really, really quickly for one other thing, and it's more of a personal thing that I'm angry about. I'm just going to read the title. This is from Rebecca Valentine over at IGN. Microsoft will soon integrate its Copilot AI into the Xbox app and eventually into your Xbox games. Copilot sucks ass. So does AI. So I'm just like,
Not only does AI suck, but like even if I was to use AI on the regular, Copilot would be like the fourth one that I use. You know what I mean? Like it's not even top three.
Yeah, it's, oh God, for a funny note, like at work, whenever I'm setting up a new PC, like everybody's got their, web browser of choice that they go with, but it's always funny getting a new Windows PC and downloading. We use Chrome all the time, and be like,
Oh yeah.
and Bing's like, but we do everything that they do, like as a last minute thing, and I'm like, nope, nope, get out of here.
Yeah, Microsoft Edge only used to delete
Oh yeah,
itself,
Edge. Yes,
basically.
thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yep, that's ugh. But I did promise I was going to end on a high or end on a good note. We support indies here, and you should too. The Mix dropped their spring showcase this Tuesday in partnership with Kinda Funny. They showed off 60, yes, that's right, 60 different titles, some world premieres, some updates, release dates, etc. So please go show your support, watch that, wishlist those games, and add some fun stuff to your library. Some ones that personally stuck out to me, I'm just going to read through titles, were Rune Dice. Jay and Silent Bob is getting a beat 'em up that's releasing on 420. If you know, you know. BPM Bit Crushed, where you can add custom music. Demon Lord, Just a Block. And then TJ, one I think you would be interested in is called Prelude Dark Pain. But yeah, those are just some of the titles. Like I said, there are 60 plus. So please go check out the Mix at mediaindieexchange.com/games, and you can check out the most recent showcase, or over on YouTube at Kinda Funny's YouTube as well.
Oh wow, this game, by the way, I just loaded it up. The Prelude Dark Pain. As soon as you said that, I was like, I have Steam. Let's make this happen.
Yep.
Um, this really reminds me of hold on, see if I can find it. I can't remember the name of it. Talk the Desolation. That's what it reminds
Ah,
me of, which is
okay.
a good shout out for an indie game. It's been in early access for like 7 years. I don't know if it's still in early access or not, but that's also a turn-based tactics indie game.
Oh,
So
okay, cool.
very cool.
All right, so that's wrapping up the news for us. So let's move on into what you've been playing. TJ, what have you been playing this week?
I've been playing Talk the Desolation. No, I'm just kidding. I wish actually now that I've pulled this game up, I kind of want to get back into it. But no, I've been playing just an unhealthy amount of Slay the Spire 2. Usually I wake up. You caught me one morning, but usually I wake up in the mornings and I do like a little bit of notation for my work, or I research stuff to do for like group and stuff. And even during that time, I'm like, nah, I gotta have Slay the Spire 2 open because it doesn't lock your window or anything, so you can just very easily just click in and out of the screen, and it's always paused essentially. So.
Mhm.
I've just anytime I've been on my computer, I'm like, I might as well have Slay the Spire 2 open because why not? And yeah, it's been going really well. I've still been playing with the Necromancer style character, Necrobinder, I believe is the title of it.
Mhm.
Um, that's still been my favorite character. He has this thing called Doom, which is really cool, this attribute, where it kind of works like poison, but not. It's its own thing, where Doom is basically at the end of your turn, if you have Doom equal to the amount of life that you have or more, then you automatically die. Um, so there's been a lot of really fun mechanics trying to get. I've been trying to go specifically on Doom runs with the Necrobinder. I've been getting all the Doom cards, and you like ratchet up the Doom on the enemies. It puts like purple on their health bars, and like I said, once you equal their health bars, then they'll die.
Mhm.
The problem is, and the reason it's worse than poison, and not as good, is because poison happens at the beginning of the turn
Mhm.
and Doom happens at the end of the turn. So if someone's going to hit you for 24 damage and you have Doom all the way for their health bar, you still have to make sure that you block that 24 damage. You're still going to take it, even though they're going to die at the end of that turn. They're still going to get their swing in, their last swing. So that really changes up the gameplay quite a lot. Speaking of the Silent, I've been playing as the Silent a lot, also doing a poison build. I think I just like status effect builds. Um, doing the poison build, also the shivs build. They changed the way that shivs work now. The ability where you summon 4 shivs or 3 shivs or whatever from Slay the Spire 1, that card used to be infinite. So
Yeah,
you would just be able to play that all the time and constantly be summoning 3 or 4 shivs. But in this game, it gets exhausted at the end of your turn
gotcha.
or whenever you use it, so you can't use it again. It doesn't like go back into your redraw pile, so you can only do that one time. And even with that, the Silent is still the most powerful character in the game, I
Hmm.
feel. Just incredibly broken in a lot of ways. And even with her being broken, the game is still incredibly well balanced. Like it's not like it's pushover or like I'm not thinking. It's not like when I was playing Vampire Crawlers and I was like card, 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 card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still like, okay, what card can I use a potion here? What am I doing? I still have to really strategize and think about it. Um, because speaking of which, maybe I just suck, but I still have not beat Slay the Spire 2.
Okay.
I have gotten to the Act 3. I've gotten pretty far in Act 3, but have I beaten Act 3? No. So that's where the real game starts is when you beat Act 3 and you go on. Watching you play the Slay the Spire 1 made me realize that maybe this isn't my strongest game.
Oh. Eh.
It's my strong suit because you were pretty you got where I got after like 2 weeks of playing in like one playthrough. So that's what I was like, oh okay, Brett's pretty good at this. Um, so yeah, maybe it's just a me issue where I'm just not good enough to beat the Act 3, but I will say the difficulty is still there. It's pretty fair though too. Like every time I've died, I felt like it's my fault. It's like, I could have taken more defensive cards. I could have really harmonized these cards. I should have upgraded cards instead of resting at the bonfire. It's like all these small choices that you make. Um, and what I really love about Slay the Spire 2 is that well, it's the same thing as Slay the Spire 1, I guess, but the map where you can see the little mini bosses.
Yeah.
And so you constantly have that risk reward of like, do I want another relic? do I want to risk fighting a mini boss for another relic, or do I want to try and avoid them and skate by them and get to the boss? But then I won't be as strong when I get to the boss, but I'll have more health. So just so many decisions that you're constantly making for each run is very fun. And as I said off stream or off podcast as well during your stream, um, they have a randomize button.
Mm.
And that is so fucking needed and incredible. Like all the characters play very well. The only one that I haven't really have a lot of experience with is the Regent.
Mm.
I just haven't played with them that much. When I hit random for some reason, it's like refuses to hit the Regent. I've hit random on like 15 runs. I played the Regent once, so it seems to go to the defect most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, having random in there is great. If you just want to play a run, you're like, I don't really know who I want to pick. Just pick random and go in there, and you're gonna have a good time every time. And that really mixes up your runs as well. There's currently 5 characters, the 3 returning characters and the 2 new characters, but because it's an early access, I'm really crossing my fingers and toes for them to release another character to make it an even 6. I feel like 6 characters would be absolute peak perfection. It's already incredible with the 5 characters, but 6 characters would be so good. Come on, give me one more character. It would be so sick.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been great. I've just been consumed by Slay the Spire mostly. And then, as I talked about in the news, I also re-downloaded Diablo 4. So I've been playing Diablo 4. And I totally forgot that during Christmas, I wanted to, whatever. The point is, during Christmas, I went on a game spending spree. And I ended up buying the Diablo expansion and then completely forgot about it. So I went back to play and I was like, oh yeah, I can be a Spiritborn now. So I started playing as a Spiritborn. I started playing that. And yeah, the production value of Diablo 4 remains incredibly high for their cutscenes and stuff. All the story modes and stuff that they have so far. I haven't gotten that far into the expansion, but the story they have so far in the expansion is really good. I think you can say what you want about Diablo 4, even detractors and haters of the game admit that the story and the cutscenes are fucking cool. The story's always good. So
Yeah.
I've been really enjoying that. And while I've been grinding out for my shield saw, whatever it's called, the Doom Dark Ages shield, just been grinding out for that while I've been playing as a Spiritborn. And Spiritborn is pretty fun. I know I'm incredibly late to the party, but it's fun. It's a good time. You can like summon a giant centipede and shit to shoot acid out everywhere, and you can fly around as a bird and like drop down and stuff. It's pretty cool. And I like the they have like almost like Aztecian like themed looks, like appearance and stuff for their armors and stuff. So it looks really freaking sweet. So I'm excited to play more Diablo 4 honestly this weekend and jump into I think it's Neihansu region. I really couldn't tell you. It starts with an N though, but it's like the jungle region that they added with this expansion, with the Spiritborn expansion. So
Okay.
I'm excited to jump into that, and who knows, maybe 2 years after the next expansion, I'll get that one too.
Yeah.
In a blind Christmas sale.
There you
But
go.
definitely not at launch because it's $40.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I've really been playing. What about you, Brett?
All right. Well, I've been playing 2 things, and those 2 things have taken up all of my time outside of stream. I mentioned I was going to talk a little bit more in depth about WWE 2K26 this week. So if you're sick of wrestling, skip ahead for the better part later. But
No, I'm kidding.
no, you're good. I don't feel I honestly have too much to add to my 2K26 discussion, but I want to give it a fair shake. I have been enjoying my time a lot with 2K26. In the grand scheme of things, it is like most of these yearly titles where it is just, slight tweaks, refinements, small additions that kind of improve the quality overall, I would say. So you're not going to find too much different in terms of gameplay. They have added a few matches, which the match types are all, pretty fun from what I've played. The dumpster match is probably the one that's lacking the most just because it is only a reskin of the casket match, what they've had back last year. So that's a little bit of a bummer. But in terms of the gameplay, Most of it's the same. They have tweaked the stamina a little bit, which is getting mixed reactions. I think I kind of like it. So in the game with stamina, is they've had this for years, but as you're doing your moves, as you're running, as you're doing those things, you would have a stamina bar that would deplete over time. Makes sense. Your superstar is going to get tired. And once it ran out, you would kind of be a little, like you couldn't sprint, you'd be a little slower, but it would build up over time. And reversals, if you ever wanted to reverse someone's attack, grapple, punch, whatever on you, you could do it at any time. Something they've tweaked this year is you can't reverse whenever you want. That's tied intrinsically to your stamina bar. So every time you reverse, it will use up a bunch of your stamina. And when your stamina runs out, you cannot reverse anymore. You're kind of just in for a butt kicking if the timing works out that way. What happens then is a purple stamina bar will pop up, and it's slowly going to decrease as you get hit by stuff or just over time. Once that runs out, you get your stamina back and you're back in the fight type thing. The reason it's a mixed thing is in certain modes, aka the online mode, not like player versus player, but the My faction that I'll talk about later, sometimes it runs out extremely fast and it's like, this is just a pain in the ass and you can't tweak it. On the other side of things, I kind of like it because it makes it more strategic of like, okay, what moves do I really need to focus on reversing? If this is a move that I know is going to do a lot of damage to my character, I want to focus on that instead of just like reversing a generic punch. Like I can eat a punch or two, but if I have Rhea Ripley about to do, Riptide, her finisher to me, I want to make sure I can reverse that. I don't want to put myself in a bad spot type of thing. So I've personally been enjoying it. In the online mode, you can't tweak it, but this is an option in standard play that you can mess around with those settings, which I do appreciate 2K giving the option for players of like, you want to make this more arcadey, you want to make it more just crazy fun, you can do that. Or if you wanted the simulated aspect, we're going to give that to you as well. So in terms of gameplay, that's the biggest change for like your base matches, fighting type stuff. I'm going to talk about the My Rise mode next, which is like your Create a Superstar story mode. I talked about it last week, how I played most of it. I have finished it. And in the grand scheme of their story modes, it's a solid okay. And the reason I'd put it okay is it's very short. Like, I think I beat this, I don't know, maybe 5 hours, 6 hours in the grand scheme of things. Like, it doesn't take you very long to get through. So that was a little bit of a bummer. I think I said last week, I was like, I'm liking it more than last year's. And I only liked it more because, like, I felt more engaged with it in terms of, like, I'm actively playing it. In terms of a story and a narrative, last year's was way better. The reason I'm connecting or playing more of this mode is, once again, the ringside pass, the season pass, the DLC that we've talked about to nauseating effect here. So I'm trying to really be touch quick on all these aspects. So I know, because I know we've talked about it before. Ringside pass. The official launch of the game is today as of recording, but early access was for a week. They have gone back and tweaked the amount of XP that people are getting per match. But they've also made a requirement to have a time limit. You have to have at least a 60 second match, 1 minute match in order to get the full rewards, to kind of prevent people doing the cheese method that they were doing. I'm not against how the ringside pass is going so far, but as I said last week, there's a lot of new stuff to do. So it feels good. So the reason the My Rise is clicking with me more is I'm playing that, and that work and effort is going to unlocking stuff in the ringside pass. So it's kind of going hand in hand, where I'm like getting the Create a Superstar unlocks in that mode, but I'm also getting the ringside pass, and it's working twofold. Same with My faction this year. I played a decent amount last year, but I'm playing more this year. I like the healthy ecosystem of everything is playing nice with each other, and all of it is going into that season pass, battle pass, ringside pass to unlocking stuff. I like that. At this point, I have unlocked the 4 characters after a week of playing, and I don't feel like I've been playing like nonstop hours, grinding away at it. Like, I've played a bit of it. I would say I've put 8 to 10 hours of this game in the first week, but I don't feel like I've been sitting here and that's the only thing I've played and the grind is like unbearable. You know what I mean? So I'm happy with that. The last thing I'll touch on is my favorite mode, and that's my GM. I haven't played much because this is something that I do want to spend time with Papa Griff playing, because that's like our game mode that we play together. But I have played a little bit on my own single player territory, just so like I have the base knowledge of it. So if he's got any questions later, then I can try and, you know, help him out with that and kind of introduce him to that. But what I've played this year, I'm really, really enjoying. There's a lot of flexibility this year with budgets, and your roster size can be up to like 33, 35 superstars if you spend all your money at the draft. And this allows for a lot of flexibility for your roster. People are going to get tired less, but also with bigger rosters, you have more to manage in terms of like morale. Hey, I haven't been booked. Hey, I'm not happy with my booking. This person's injured. This person's going on vacation, blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot more things to manage, but it's been great. Also, in addition, they've added a lot of flexibility in terms of the amount of people you can have fight in certain matches. So previous years with GM mode, we could only have 4 superstars wrestle at a time. Now you can have 5, 6, 7, up to 8 wrestlers participate in matches at a time. So this really helps with your tag teams, having those guys intermingle with each other better. If you want to have a multi-man crazy ladder match for a title, just because there's 4 rivalries you need to settle, you can do that, and you can fit more in there. So from what I've played so far, I'm really enjoying it. There's a few new cards here and there for power cards that do like special effects and can kind of tweak the mode as you're going. I found a few of them so far. One kind of hiccup I have with GM mode is I wish there was like a library of those cards that you could kind of see what is involved, because when something new comes, it almost feels far and few between. So I wish I could at least see like, oh, they've added 20 cards. I just am getting poor luck, instead of, oh, there's only 2, you know, like, so I would know definitively what variety has been added this year. But all in all, the game has been solid. I've been enjoying my time with it. I will be curious once we get to the ringside passes 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Once obviously the freshness of the game modes has kind of died off, how will the grinding in those ringside passes be? Will it be more arduous at that point? We'll have to see. And then from the ringside pass, one more point I want to talk about. The free pass that's available to everybody, a lot of those unlocks were tied into unlocks of previous titles that were, you know, your legends, your belts, arenas, whatnot. All that's tied to the first pass, which makes sense. I'm really curious to see what they're going to do for the future passes. Right now, if I counted correctly, 35 of the 40 slots in that free pass were like the generic stuff that would have been unlockables in the regular titles, right? So that's a lot of space that 2K and Visual Concepts needs to fill to make it enticing for players. So Artemis is being Artemis and knocking shit over. So I'm curious what they're going to add in these packs that's interesting. I don't want it to just be, while the in-game currency they've added is nice, I don't want it to just be, okay, you get more of this points, you get more of this currency, and over again, because that's less interesting. I hope they add more like up-to-date superstars, maybe some people who didn't make the roster, and I know that gets into like, for lack of a better phrase, huffing the copium of like, oh, I think they'll do this cool thing, and I think they'll do this, and blah, blah, blah. Like, I got to be realistic with it. So I'm like, it just baffles me. Like, what are you guys planning? I would hope they have some plan to fill this content. So I'm hoping with not with the backlash, but I hope they realize like we need to give people something enticing to make it, to sell this a little bit more. Like this is the future of what we're going to do things, or how we're going to do things, or whatever. So hopefully they can make some cool additions in there. But yeah, 2K26, it's been solid. I've been having a fun time with it, and it's a nice, chill, which sounds weird because you're fighting people and all that stuff. It's a chill thing to do and just kind of hang out with. My only review for the Scrapyard, which is another new like arena mode, selfish plug for the YouTube and TikTok, go over there and just look at that short called The Scrapyard is Nutty. That is the only review you need for that mode. It's just chaos. It's a lot of fun. All right, the other title that people will be more in tune with, so welcome back to the podcast. Let's talk Pokopia, baby! Pokopia is fantastic, guys. I am absolutely in love with this game, and it seems like a lot of people are. If you don't know what Pokopia is, take Minecraft, take Animal Crossing, and take Pokemon, and just go and squish them all together. You're a little Ditto. The Ditto has transformed into a human. Yes, I know that's weird. There's a story behind it, so don't worry. And you stumble upon a Tangrowth all by his lonesome. He's so sad. He has nobody around. And you surprise him by showing up, and he's like, hey, Pokemon have been gone from this area. The humans have been gone, and I've been all alone. Let's go together, and let's try and figure out what's going on. And slowly over time, you restore the habitat, and you are returning Pokemon to the area. So you start with your Gen 1 starters. You got your Squirtle, you got your Bulbasaur, you got your Charmander. And from there, you gradually get more and more Pokemon, like I said, from kind of restoring the area. It's kind of like a barren wasteland. So you're watering grass, you're cutting trees, you're planting seeds, you're building roads, you're just tidying up the area, and you're slowly getting more and more of the Pokemon to kind of come back. And that's your main journey, or rather objective, as this Ditto, is to help out, restore the area, get the Pokemon back, and get the humans back. I've been having a fantastic time with it so far. It is a very chill experience. Most of the time when I pop on and play, while the story missions are there and they're very interesting of like the narrative they're telling, I find myself a lot of the time just running around cleaning things up, decorating a little bit, building some habitats, and just seeing the Pokemon run around and interact with each other is so adorable. So you'll see Pokemon running around, playing with toys, talking with each other. Maybe they're eating some food, or they're chopping something, or, taking care of their own house and area. It's just adorable. From a story perspective, I haven't made it super duper far, but I'm currently working on making it rain to try and help out the area and free a trapped Onix in a mountain. Eventually, once I get that Onix free, he's going to be able to help me build the Pokemon Center, along with a lot of the other Pokemon that I've kind of helped bring back to the area. So for bigger missions, you can recruit your Pokemon to kind of assist you, because they all have different abilities and skills. So for your starters, for example, your Squirtle does Water Gun, your Bulbasaur can grow crops, and some of them share these abilities with you. So those two, for example, as your Ditto, you can spit out water, and that's how you kind of water the grass, or you can grow grass by the Bulbasaur ability. I met a Hitmonchan, and I can punch walls and clear out areas and change up flooring and whatnot because of that ability. I have a Scyther, so I can cut down trees, I can chop away grass or any plants that I don't want. Those are the abilities I have so far, but I know there's others that I've seen in trailers from other Pokemon you can get. I think one example is like a Dragonite. You can eventually like fly and glide as a Dragonite for a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah. So those abilities allow you to obviously work towards the goals that you're doing, but then also helps you create and beautify the area however you choose. It's your sandbox. There's different areas that they kind of have like little layouts. So where this Pokemon Center is, there's like partially a brick path and like fountains and stuff like that. And you can choose to kind of restore that area, or you can make it your own. And as you keep expanding, exploring, you find that there's other areas like, oh, there's a more houses that are kind of broken down here. And in the back, there's like this water tower for some reason that's all on its own and whatnot. And you can kind of go around and explore and just make it your own environment and world, which is kind of nice. In terms of the Pokemon that are included, there's a lot. I have 28 right now as of recording that I've kind of brought back. Wide variety of generations represented here. I would say most of mine right now are kind of leaning towards the earlier gens, which I appreciate just because of the nostalgia factor, but there's a wide variety here. In terms of how you discover these Pokemon or how you bring them back, sometimes it's trial and error. Other times they will give you hints occasionally. Like you'll see a little glowing thing on the ground, you go up to it, and it's like there's a trace of a Pokemon here. And it shows you an outline of a Pokemon or a shadow, similar to the old TV show, like, who's that Pokemon? And it will show you the habitat that they require. Most of them are 4 blocks to 8 blocks of something that you need. So the most simple one is just 4 grass plots directly next to each other. There's flowers in the same arrangement. Some like a tree and then the 4 blocks. Some like water in the 4. Wide variety of different stuff, and some are very specific. Like those easier ones, you could unlock like 6 different Pokemon potentially from one habitat. For Squirtle's, he was initially that 4 grass plot. You could have 6 like it's a 1 in 6 chance that something is going to pop up from here. And then you have more specific ones like the Hitmonchan. It was a punching bag and a bench. He's the only one that spawns there. So you'll either get those hints or you just gotta kind of experiment. Like, okay, I wonder what this would do. Oh, I unlocked this thing. Maybe I can assort these items together and kind of figure it out. If it is an environment that has multiple options, some Pokemon have different rarities. Some Pokemon have different requirements in terms of like daytime, nighttime, weather, stuff like that in order for them to spawn. So that's kind of nice. The fun thing is once you discover like a habitat and you start building it, it will take time for the Pokemon to show up. So it's not going to be automatic. Could be the next day, the next morning that something shows up. Could be a few days before something shows up in that environment. But it's always fun discovering it, and especially when it's something random. Like I built a tree with some grass by it, and I was like, oh, it's probably going to be something flying or a bug, right?
Right.
Well, it does the dramatic thing like the Pokeballs where it shakes and then it locks on that third one. Well, it does like a zoom in. It's like, oh, there was something here. And then the Pokemon will fall, jump out, do whatever from its location. I had a Cacturn randomly fall from a tree that I got. I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting you. But that was a fun surprise. So that's been a lot of fun in terms of like the discovering those guys. That's been amazing. And it seems like there's a lot of potential here in terms of like what Pokemon are involved in the game. It doesn't seem like the story's super duper long from what I've seen from another streamer. I've been trying to avoid as much as I can to kind of just have an organic experience of myself. But I had something on the background. He's like, oh, how do we reach endgame? So it seems relatively short, but obviously it's that sandbox where you can just keep playing and playing and playing. But in terms of the Pokemon, TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky, I'm seeing clips everywhere because people are playing this, and I keep seeing new stuff. And I'm like, that's awesome. Like, obviously, I don't want all of it spoiled to me and like seeing every Pokemon that's available because you want that organic experience. But it's like, oh shit, I didn't realize this one was in there, and this one, and this one, and this one. So it feels good to me to know like there's depth in here, and it's not like, oh, well, I'm going to be done soon, and there's only 40 of these guys, you know? So I do appreciate that. Um, sorry, I know I'm rambling.
No, you
There's also additional story stuff in terms of like the human history. As you're going around, you'll find little notebooks that talk about like what the humans were experiencing and stuff. A fun thing that they've added is Team Rocket's around. You find old Team Rocket bases and they're scheming and whatnot. And the Pokemon are like, I don't know what this is. La la la. And you're like, because they have no idea. So it's funny knowing as the player, like, oh, these guys are bad, but you guys have no idea. So one of the missions is like restoring or like filling objectives that this Team Rocket base left behind. So that's kind of cute. And then the last thing I'll bring up in terms of a gameplay, which I haven't done, and I made sure to look up before recording here, but Drifloon is a very important aspect of this game. Now, for those of you who know the dark lore with Drifloon, apparently he would abduct children, or they would abduct children, and kind of float away with them. They've made a joke with it here, where if you offer Drifloon a substitute doll, so it either can be a base one, or there's 5 other ones, I think, that Drifloon, similar to Animal Crossing, will take you to a secret island. Now, on that secret island, there's not Pokemon there, but it's going to be like a built-up or ruined island where it's just resource gathering. And it's funny because I've seen a bunch of clips too of this, or people are just like pilfering that island, like, a house, I'm taking all the good shit. So he can take you to these islands to get kind of more rare resources that maybe you don't have or you can't craft yet. You can go to that island as much as you want in the 24-hour period, but then it's gone, and you can only go to one island a day. If you have a specific Pokédoll, it will go to a specific type of region, which has certain resources available to you. Or if you have a generic substitute doll, it's luck of the draw. Whichever one you get, you get. But yeah, Pokopia, if you haven't caught on, I'm absolutely loving my time with it. It's been a very chill time, whether it is the fun narrative and stories that missions you're going on, or just running around, interacting with the Pokemon, building your relationships up, the discovering of new ones, and just kind of designing stuff. It's been a beautiful experience. I haven't played any multiplayer with it, so I don't know how that would go, but I can see how that would be a fun experience with friends of just like, we're hanging out. Very chill. Good time. So if you have a Switch 2, I would highly recommend it. I was looking forward to it when it first was announced. It's like, oh, that's intriguing. But to see everybody being like, oh yeah, this is really cool. It's a good time. Good time for games.
Yeah, it seems to be like the it game right now.
Yeah.
So that's very good.
Did you have any questions about Pokopia? You alluded to it on the stream, or did I cover it?
You answered a lot of the questions that I had about like Pokemon and how to get them and things like that, and the roster and stuff. But I guess my question is, you started off with you said it's like Minecraft, Pokemon, and what was the other game you said?
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing, all put together. Now I
Yeah.
get the Pokemon and the Animal Crossing. Where does the Minecraft come in? Are you actually like breaking blocks and shit? Or?
Good question. So yes, you are breaking blocks. So everything is cubes, like Minecraft. So I mentioned the Hitmonchan little punching ability. So you can punch through different walls that will unlock different areas as you're exploring. You can punch out the floor. The depth of which you can punch down the floor, I don't know. So it's not like maybe as expansive as a Minecraft world, and how nuts those get. But you have a lot of freedom of like the terrain you want to build and the areas for the Pokemon you want to build in terms of like mountains and shit. So there's that. There's resource gathering, where if you get twigs or you cut down trees, you can ask other Pokemon like the Scyther I alluded to earlier, or Pinsir, and they'll take those logs, you give them to them, and they'll chop it into lumber over time. And you can use that lumber to craft at workbenches that you make. So you can craft tables and chairs and decorations and more official houses for the Pokemon. So you have like leaf dens you can put them in. and like decorate their area a little bit more if you wanted to give them a house. In later progression, it seems like you can make actual buildings. So I alluded to the Pokemon Center and repairing that. If it's a bigger building, you have to first gather all the resources, and then you bring certain Pokemon there to over time build said structure. So for this Poke Center mission, I think I needed like so many rocks, so many lumber, so many other resources, and then I have a list of Pokemon where it's like, okay, you need this Onix, you need the Squirtle, you need your Bulbasaur, you need this, and you got to bring them all there, and then over time you'll see them working on the building, and eventually it will be built up for you.
Okay.
So you got that, and like I said, the different Pokemon can do different things for you. So the Scyther and Pinsir can get logs and lumber. Your Bulbasaur, if you have him follow you around, he can grow foliage quicker. Some plants right away, some just like a faster progression over time. And you kind of got to know like what skills they have. And you can look it up at any point, but you can really mess around and like, oh, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. And either put them to work or like just go together and do these things.
Okay, that's great. That makes a lot more sense of why you would compare it to a Minecraft then.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It
Thank
sounds
you.
like a great game.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic time. All right, well, we're going to move on to our next topic. It's the mystery topic. So we're going to kind of stay on the train of Pokemans. TJ, are you ready?
Are you gonna make me name all Gen 2 Pokemon?
No, but we're going to have a fun time. We're going to do 10. I have a random Pokemon generator in front of me, and I am going to poorly describe this Pokemon. And I want to see if you can guess who it is. It's not a one guess, we'll tweak it around. We'll go with the flow and see how it goes.
Okay.
So how this is going to work, stream, like I said, podcast, not stream. I have this random generator in front of me. I'm going to hit generate. Audience, you're also not going to see this Pokemon because I want you to play along too. At the end, I will reveal and I'll put an image of what the Pokemon is. And like I said, I'm going to try and be funny with these descriptions and we'll see if, TJ can fit. So my question to you, is there any regions you did not play?
Oh, God. I did not play Ruby and Sapphire.
Oh, bummer. Okay. So no Gen 3 maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, Gen 3, and I'm very, very loose on the later gens.
All right. Okay. Well.
I never played Sun and Moon either.
Okay, so I'll get rid of Alolan region and Hoenn region. All right. We'll try it from there. If, we're just having fun here. All right, number 1. Oh, I'm skipping that one because I don't even know how to describe that one. All right. Poor description for this one. I want
Trubbish.
you... What's up? No, not Trubbish. All right, this little lad is... See, I don't want to just say something because I feel like that's going to click right away. I don't know. Maybe that's not as poor of a description I was thinking. He's a little armadillo lad.
Sandslash, Shrew.
It is Sandshrew. Yes, very good.
Okay.
So yeah, just pretty much flat out said, but whatever.
For some reason, I thought you were gonna have Flaffy. I don't know why.
Oh, no, Flappy's a good one. All right, we're on number 2. Another little lad. He's got some funny cheeks, and he loves hanging around in the water.
Oh, it could be so many different Pokemon. Meryl?
No, you're on the right track though. This guy, his cheeks kind of look like puffer fish.
Oh gosh. I don't know. I think my Pokemon knowledge is more limited than you.
You're good.
I'm trying to think here.
He's a starter. It is the
Dugong.
No, Dugong's not a starter. Unless it's a randomizer.
Oh gosh, I'm bad with my starters too. Froakie?
No, that's a good one. So this is, unfortunately, I don't know why it's included, because this is a region that you said you didn't play. If I said swamp, would that lead you in the right area?
Mudkip.
Yeah, nice. There you go. Very good. Very good.
Oh, was it really Mudkip?
It was Mudkip, yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, his evolved form is Swampert. So, yeah.
I forget what Mudkip looks like. Hold on. Let me pull up a picture of Mudkip. He's got big cheeks.
He does. He's got little orange cheekies.
Oh, yeah. He does have
kind of look like pufferfish.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you mean now. I got you. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Nice. All right. Number 3. Nope, not number 3 on that one. You definitely won't know that one. Okay. I think you'll know this little lass. We're going funny, folks. What's this, baby mama? Does that ring anything?
Kangaskhan.
No. What if I said medical?
Oh, Chansey.
Okay, you're very close. Focus on the baby part of that.
Oh, oh God, I don't remember what the baby.
Come on, Gen 4. You were playing it not that long ago.
True. Oh gosh, what is it called? It's the baby Chansey, though.
It is the baby Chansey, yes.
Okay, I'm not gonna guess the name. There's no way.
Think of an emotion when you're filled with joy.
Joy.
Why would I just say joy? Oh, brother.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know.
It's Happiny.
Happiny?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have never gotten that.
Well, happy. I don't know. Moving on. All right. Angry frog.
An angry frog. Greninja.
No. Angry buff frog.
Angry buff frog. Oh gosh.
This one's closer to home than you think. I'm sorry?
Machamp.
No.
He's kind of like frog lips, you know?
Yeah,
His
I
face,
can see
you
it.
Look at it.
No, this one's more literal on the frog side of things.
Literal frog.
And like I said, it hits closer to home. So this is definitely one you know.
Can I get a generation?
1.
Oh, it's a Gen 1?
Yeah, it's a Gen 1.
Okay. Buff frog in Gen 1.
Angry buff frog.
Huh.
He's ready to punch.
Hitmonch.
No, yeah, I know that was not a great clue.
He's ready to punch, and he's a frog.
He's the last of his evolution chain.
Poliwhirl. Polyswirl. Poliwrath.
Yeah, there you go, Poliwrath.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest. I totally forgot they were frogs because there's so much of
Poliwag's a tadpole.
Yeah, one's a tadpole, and then also they have the frog eyes.
Yeah.
But by the time it's Poliwrath, it's just like
He's
so
just
much
a
of
mass, yeah.
Yeah. It's just a big swirling middle.
All right. Oop, nope, not that one. Ugh, I don't know if you know that guy. I'm gonna skip him.
Thank you.
I think this one's Gen 4. It's another frog. We're sticking with frogs today.
Greninja.
What if I said poison dart frog?
Oh gosh, I don't know any poison dart frog Pokemon.
What does a frog sound like, or what do we describe their noise as?
Ribbit.
Okay, there's another name, but you're on the right track. Oh, like a deep burst.
Croak.
Okay, good. So stick with
Croaky.
No. So we're sticking with Croak. I think it's Gen 4. It might be Gen 5.
Krakatoa.
No. Think of, okay, what's sludge is a descriptor of this thing. Sludge, trash, something stuck. You might call it like a funky word. It's very similar to funk.
Gunk.
Okay. Now merge those together.
Krogunk.
Yeah, Krogunk. Good.
Yeah. Thank you. I would, yeah.
Sure.
I'm pretty bad at picturing these Pokemon and their names, but
All good.
I do like Croagunk. That's a good Pokemon, actually.
Yeah. All right. It's another little lad. Think of when he grow big, he a big dinosaur. But I want you to think of a caterpillar, and no, don't say Caterpie.
Weedle.
No, it fucking grows up to be a dragon, my guy. At least I think he's a dragon.
This thing grows up to be a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Not Kabutops, but what's the little baby thing from Kabutops?
Kabuto. No, I like that thought,
Kabuto.
but no. My generation hint is this is Gen 2.
Gen 2. Okay, so it's not Aerodactyls. I
No.
guess there is no baby Aerodactyl. It's just the fossil and then
No,
Aerodactyl.
he's on his own. Yeah.
Or Aerodactyl.
He gets a mega evolution. He's fine.
So it's not Dratini then either because it's
Correct.
Gen 2.
In terms of like Pokedex position, this was a later Gen 2 Pokedex entry. I don't think that'll help.
I know there's a ground or like a rock T-Rex Pokemon.
Okay,
but I don't know if that's later.
Yeah, that's later. That's Tyrunt and Tyrantrum, which are very good, but no, that's later. Okay, think of a butterfly growth cycle.
Okay, so you have the caterpillar,
Yep.
the pod,
Yep.
and then the butterfly.
There's more scientific names for the caterpillar, and I want to focus on the caterpillar. Like a baby insect. There's like a science-y name.
A grub?
You're on the right track.
Sciencey name for a baby insect. Oh gosh.
Trying to think. Okay. Similar track. This is going to help you get there, but it's a totally different tangent, okay?
Okay.
A volcano spews what?
Lava.
Good. Okay. So go back to the bug thing. Something similar to lava.
Oh, larva.
Okay. That's the beginning
Yeah.
of this Pokemon's name.
Larvalicious. Which should be a Pokemon's name. If it's not one. Larvel?
No. Do you remember Larvitar?
I sure don't.
No? Okay, that's fine.
Does that go into a heat Pokemon? Like Heat Ran or something?
There is a Heatran. That's also a later gen. This would go from Larvitar to Pupitar to Tyranitar. Tyranitar was like a big favorite in Gen 2. It's pretty good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know my Gen 2
No,
very
you're
well.
good. You're good. No, you're not going to know that one. Ooh, that's Gen 3. No, don't know why they're being
Like the next one,
included.
Hoot Hoot. I could guess Hoot.
I want to try this one, but I don't think you know this one.
Oh, no.
Okay. Think of an outcast from school. What would you call?
Me.
What would you call someone who dresses dark and is an outcast in school? That isn't the shorter term that hurts themselves. Just spooky. They like Halloween. They like
So
the
goth?
Yeah. Okay. So that's the first part of the name. And then it looks like a
Gothra?
little maid.
Oh, I can picture this Pokemon.
Oh, okay, cool. Great.
But I don't know the name of it though. It's like Goth. Let's see.
Do you remember the bad guy in Power Rangers? The woman. Do you remember her name?
Oh God, what is her name now?
I'm just quizzing you on too much. It's totally fine.
I can picture her hair thing,
Yeah.
but I can't.
That's
I
all right.
don't remember her name.
It's
Yeah,
Gotharita.
Gotharita.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have said Margarita.
Yeah, okay. Alright, we'll do one more. I'm trying to find a good one. Ooh, okay. Martial arts fire chicken.
Dugong.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And that's been the episode of Relatively Gaming. We're not even going to do what you're looking forward to.
This has been the last episode.
We made it 33 episodes, folks. It was a good run.
Oh, gosh. Martial Arts Fire Chicken is got to be Blaziken.
Hey, good job.
Yeah.
Gen 3,
honestly,
you know it.
It took me that long to remember the name, but I was thinking the whole time I was making Dugong jokes.
There you go. Tactics. Well,
Yeah.
good job with the Pokemon quiz. That was fun. Sorry for
Thank you, that was
torturing you.
Yeah, it was more difficult than I thought, but it was very fun.
Oh,
so I
good. I'm
appreciate
glad.
it. Thank you. You had good hints. So
Oh, well, that's good. Well, let's wrap up this episode, and we're going to talk about our last topic. It is a future title or backlog title that we're looking forward to. TJ, what do you got for us this week?
well, I've already talked about it before, but earlier on in this episode, not before as in a future game.
Yeah.
From Pearl Abyss Studios, Crimson Desert launches on March 19th, 2026, which is this Thursday.
Ooh.
Crimson Desert, for those of you who don't know, is an open-world action-adventure set on the continent of Pywell. Join Cliff on his journey to rebuild the Greymane faction and to save the land from a looming threat. From vast wilderness and cities to ruins and the mysterious abyss, forge your path through battles and discovery. I've been kind of hit or miss on Crimson Desert through its development cycle. I've been like, what is this? Is this an MMO? Is this an RPG? What's going on here? But recently, some gamers have gotten, and journalists and stuff have gotten to play for like 6 hours or so. And from what they've said that it plays a lot like Elden Ring or Breath of the Wild, where you kind of just have this world, not very story directed at all. You're just kind of open in this world with these mechanics, and you can kind of fuck around with things and be like, oh, look at that castle over there. Let me go over there. Oh, look at this mountain over here. And I love games like that. I said Breath of the Wild and Elden Ring, both two some of my favorite games. Elden Ring, I think, is my favorite game of all time. So I'm definitely willing to give it a shot. I would love to play another single player open world RPG where there's no hand holding. It's just kind of like, just go explore and discover, because there's nothing better than that feeling of like true discovery when you're like, oh my God, like playing Elden Ring for the first time without a guide, when it's just like, hey, I found this item and I feel like nobody's found it except for me. Like it feels special, like a found thing. So I'm really hoping Crimson Desert pulls off that same exploratory feeling, but also the combat looks really, really good from everything I've seen. So I also love a good action RPG combat system. So the marriage of these two things looks incredible. So I don't know. I might be playing Crimson Desert on Thursday. We'll have to see.
Nice.
I'm pretty excited for it.
Good. Very cool. One I'd like to give a shout out to this week is called Usual June. This is developed and published by Finji. Steam description is hang out, fight monsters, and discover your town's darkest secrets in Usual June, a third-person action game about summer break and the end of the world. And then an overview. Usual June is a third-person action adventure with frantic, flexible combat, a witty cast, and an original conspiracy story that is equal parts terrifying, funny, and sweet. It was supposed to be a quiet summer break, working odd jobs, hanging out with our new friends, and talking to ghosts. This is one been on my radar for a while, but I think that the thing that intrigues me most about this is the art style. It has a similar art style that reminisces to the Spider-Verse movies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it looks really, really cool there. I've enjoyed what Finji's put out in the past as well. This is one they announced a while back, and I feel like it's been kind of not hidden but it's been kind of quiet for a little while, and I've heard some more rumblings with GDC going on this week, so just kind of sparked that interest again, and seems like a fun character-driven narrative that they got here with the spooky side of ghosts. Not anything like haunting or horror involved, but seems like a cool story that they're trying to tell. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I've never even heard of that game, so I'm excited to give it a check it out.
Give it a check it out. And with that, we're going to check it out, but we appreciate you guys hanging out with us today for Relatively Gaming. Remember, new episodes do drop over on YouTube and Spotify on Mondays at 12 noon Eastern. Over on those channels, you can drop a like and follow if you did enjoy what you heard here. If you have anything that you'd like us to discuss further or in a future episode, please leave it in the comment section down below, and we will try our best to get to it at a future episode. We appreciate you guys hanging out and supporting us wherever you do. It does mean a lot, and we do see those numbers, so thank you for that. And as always, TJ, thank you so much for recording this week. Good sir.
Absolutely. Thank you for hosting. You did a fantastic job. I love that Pokemon quiz. So
good. I'm glad.
Fun.
Good. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much. Hopefully you guys are playing something cool this weekend. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Peace out and goodbye.
Bye.